Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be ranking the Halloween franchise, and just as a fun little nod, my channel is now a year old. So yay, congratulations. In the past year I've done some of my favorite movies and I've had some ups and some downs, and I gained 110 subscribers, so I think that's pretty awesome. It's way more than anything I was ever expecting. But yeah, I'm super grateful and super excited to get into this because the Halloween franchise has been around with me for the past couple of years and I love it, love the entries, and with all of that being said, I think we should just get right into these rankings. So in last place, I have Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now this is because I personally have not seen it and it is not part of the Michael Myers timeline, so therefore, it doesn't even place in my ranking because it's just not a Michael Myers story. Nothing against the film, just not a part of the timeline to me. In 10th place, I have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. So this movie is lower for me because the mask is just terrible. It looks like a bird. I'm not a big fan of the score and the funny noises. Jamie being mute is kind of a disappointment. The Tina character's not the greatest. There's some over-the-top sex scenes and it's kind of boring in some parts. They don't even use the same Michael Myers house. Dr. Loomis is insane. Yeah, just a lot. I like the laundry chute scene. Everyone likes that scene though. But anyway, yeah, Halloween 5, not my favorite. In 9th place, I have Halloween 2007, the Rob Zombie remake. Now, this is because I'm not a fan of anything that's Rob Zombie's original content. I don't watch it, but that is what places it here and down at the bottom of the thing for me. When I do watch it, I only watch, the parts that are the remake, and so there's that I like, but I'm not a fan of the trashy dialogue or the unrated director's cut, or pretty much anything that he does with this just leaves a bad, filthy, poor, trashy taste in my mouth. Even though Michael is badass and it's just a different interpretation, just not my favorite. In 8th place, I have Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now this is a lot of a step up between 4 and 5, I think. It's just better mask, better quality of the film, I think, better story. I wasn't a fan about the fact that they killed Jamie off in the beginning of this and that she was older and she was not by Danielle Harris. Part of the reason we loved Jamie was because of Danielle Harris was such a good child actress and she just brought something to that role. I do like that we followed Tommy Doyle and the other Strodes in this movie. And it gives Michael that feeling of being terrifying again, and the ending has got a lot of nice colors. So yeah, Halloween 6 is a good one, so it lands about in the middle here for me. In 7th place, I have Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. So this one is the 10 years after the original night had happened, and we're following Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter. And so what I liked about this one is the opening credits. Everybody does. Michael Myers feels scary in it again. The mask isn't my favorite, but they do have a scene where he walks into a store and just takes the closest resembling mask off of a shelf so they can kind of explain that away. And in the beginning of it, they have the bandages of his face, and I really, really liked that. Lots of great kills. Like I said, the child acting from Danielle Harris is pretty good. I love the intense moments of the roof and the chasing at the end, and Rachel was such a good character, and I like how they were able to bring everything back together and make it feel like a real Michael Myers film. In 6th place, I have Halloween Resurrection. Gasp, I know, right? Can anybody believe that I don't have this one ranked last? Sorry about it. Turns out I just happen to really love late 90s and early 2000s movies, anything from like 1995 to 2005. That 10-year period is just like iconic to me. It's great. I love it. It's a lot easier for me to watch this one than 4, 5, or 6. It's just a higher quality film, I think. Better direction. The cinematography looks better. The quality of the film, the masks, the scoring. I happen to prefer the stories, even though that it's not the greatest and is so cringy in so many parts. And the Busta Rhymes, Tyra Banks reality thing is in and of itself just not the greatest, but they were also ahead of the time on that, and it was kind of the first thing around the time to do something like that. And I like the idea of going back to Michael Myers' house, and there's a couple fun characters in this movie that really just pushes it over the edge for me. The beginning where Laurie Strode is killed is hard for me because it takes away from H2O, so in my mind I pretend that this is an alternate universe movie. And had they made maybe the whole movie just a chase theme throughout the insane asylum, that would have been cool too, but they didn't, and so if I accept this for what it is, then I happen to like it for what it is, so that's why it's above the other ones. I have more fun with it, it's just more of a fun time, and it's a newer movie above the other ones, and let's face it, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are just not like the original one. Now I'm in my top 5 favorite Halloween movies of the franchise. So, in 5th place, I have Halloween 2, the original from 1981. The one is the direct continuation from the original movie, picks up the same night. That's one of the reasons why I love this and why it's ranked so high up. The return of Laurie Strode, I love the hospital setting. It's also one of the first movies and horror movies that I have ever seen pick up from the same frame or tell something from the same night. Having it be extended was fun. Dr. Loomis is back. Michael Myers was back. Everything, it really just feels like a great build-off of what they had in the original. And then if you do watch them seamlessly together, it's like one long, big, fun night. I liked the up-goring and the killing and everything like that was so much fun. Seeing him trick-or-treat on the streets and having the setting look really real was fun for me. Some of my downsides of this, though, are that it sucks that Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of comatose for most of the movie, and some of the blood looks like red paint, so that's why it kind of falls a little lower here than some of the other entrances. Oh, and I don't necessarily need the brother aspect to have a fun time with this franchise, but we'll get into that. In 4th place, I have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. Now this one, for whatever reason, just works for me, the whole film. I don't skip any of it. I know a lot of people don't like it, and that it's weird and strange and just out there for them, and that he does his own thing so that they don't take it. I, for whatever reason, really love this. It doesn't even feel like it's in the same world as the first one. It feels eerie, and I love that eerie feeling. It looks like where I grew up in Ohio, and like when the weather's changing, the atmosphere feels gray outside, it feels dark. I like the director's cut version where it's 2 years later, and Laurie is this damaged person. It feels so real to me. I love seeing her kind of rough and rugged and struggling and going through these things, and then having the people in this movie taken away from her is intense as well. And I love the party scenes and where she goes to. I even love the friends and what they do with Michael. I don't even care that he has like the ripped mask and then he doesn't even have it at the end. I just have to acknowledge the fact that this movie makes me feel so good and so eerie, and I love it. I have such a great time with it. I always have fun throwing this movie on. So yes, it's in my 4th spot. Now I'm in my top 3 slots, and in 3rd place I have Halloween H2O. This used to be my favorite for the longest time before I had seen the rest of the franchise, and even when I had seen it the most growing up. It was one of the only ones I'd seen whenever I was younger, and I just have such fun with it. I love the 20 years later. I love the theme. I love Laurie being in hiding, and Jamie Lee Curtis looks awesome. It is her great return to the franchise. I like that they cut all of the other bullshit out of the way, and that it's a direct sequel to part 2. This is a great final confrontation movie between Laurie and Michael. I love the finale at the end. They've got some great intense chase scenes in this one. And that final face-off where they show down is just great, and I love the emotional aspect of it and how she gets to take over, and when she kills him at the end, I found that a great wrapping up to the chapter, to the story. This is a great timeline that we follow in the film series, and yeah, for whatever reason, this one is one I have a lot of fun with. I love the Sandman song in the beginning, and the look of it, especially in the beginning scene, looks like Halloween. I don't even care if the rest of it is in California. This is a great entry to me, and definitely one of my favorite Halloween movies, favorite horror movies, and yeah, no shame. Halloween H2O. In 2nd place, I have the original Halloween from 1978. Oh my goodness, so I love this film. It is iconic. The first time I watched it, it provided me with that eerie feeling I was talking about. I just love the atmosphere, the aesthetic, the look of the background, the streets, the houses at the ending. Jamie Lee Curtis, this being her first role, she's iconic and beautiful and young, and then the character of Laurie Strode was so fun to see and hang out with, and she's just this normal girl, and I love that it's in Illinois, and the iconic score obviously can't be beaten. The chase sequences in that are the best, and I love the ending. I love how you think that he's dead so many times, and then he, isn't, and then the closet scene, and the over the balcony. The way that it ends on that cliffhanger, perfect. I love how simple it was, and I wish that they could make more horror movies like this. I remember watching it for the first time and completely falling in love with it and being like, this is one of my favorite movies. This has got to be one of my all-time favorite horror movies as well. Just like, it just has something so magical about it. In first place, I have Halloween 2018. This is the sequel that takes place 40 years later after the first one, and it is a direct continuation from the first movie. Cuts out every other sequel. I like the aspect where they go with Laurie and Michael are strangers, they're not siblings, they're not related. It's just the simple story of a girl babysitting and being assaulted and attacked by a psychopath on Halloween night, and then he was incarcerated, and 40 years later he breaks out and gets her again. This is the first one I saw in theaters. I remember the hype just being amazing, hearing everybody chant and scream. Oh, it was so fun. I love seeing Laurie Strode as an adult woman now. I love what they did with her character, her house. Everything is so pristine. You know she is ready. She's been waiting for this. I love the aspect of her daughter and her granddaughter. There's great casting. I love most of the score in this movie is phenomenal, especially when Allison is being chased. The parts of this movie that aren't my favorite are, I think, the boyfriend character and the friend of the boyfriend and the dad. And two of those guys get killed off of this, and hopefully the boyfriend won't be in Halloween Kills, or he hopefully will get killed in Halloween Kills. So yeah, I just have to acknowledge the fact that this movie, this Halloween movie, has made me feel a way that no other movie in the Halloween franchise had made me feel, and I've watched it countless times in the past 2 years that it's been out. And so yes, I have to just give it credit and say that this is my favorite Halloween film. I would be lying if I said I didn't like it the most, or watch it the most often, or show it to people the most, or talk about it the most. It's a concept that really just sticks with me, and I think it's strong, and I cannot wait for Halloween Kills. I have a feeling that one's gonna be a lot better, and it's probably gonna take my #1 spot, because I like sequels because we get to, build off of what we already know. I don't have to spend time getting to know the characters. I'm used to them already. And then I also love Kyle Richards, and she is amazing, and she's coming back for Halloween Kills. She was in the 1978 original as Lindsay Wallace. So yeah, just looking forward to that whole exciting process. But yeah, that was my ranking of the Halloween franchise, and I'm sure that I'll update this whenever Halloween Kills and Ends comes out. Super excited to see Halloween Kills. I know it's coming out next Halloween. I'm sad that it got pushed back, but at least we still get to have it. A year is nothing. But yeah, let me know what you thought and what your rankings are down in the comments. Let me know what parts work for you and what you don't. What are your favorite incarnations of Michael? And yeah, just remember to check out some of my other videos, because I've done a bunch of different genres and I plan to do a bunch of different more. And be sure to check back whenever I post something new. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye!